Hi, this is Imran. This video is a part of my series where I'm helping one of the engineers to kind of capture the learnings for the new graduates when they attend the interview. Again, this is for an NGO for some underprivileged graduate students, just to kind of prep them up for the interviews, right? So this video series has about 6 elements of new graduate questions. Pretty much they are related to the major that they select, what electives they select, and things like that, right? So it's pretty much about it. The first one to begin with is the question that the new graduates will get, right? So the new graduate may get a question from the interviewer stating, why did you choose a particular major, or why did you choose your major, right? The reason behind if the interviewer asking that question is basically the interviewer is looking to see if you answer to the point, and if the major that you elected and the reason that you give behind selecting a major, is it really a good job fit and also a cultural fit from what you mentioned. Some possible answers or some relative answers. Make sure that you use this question as an opportunity to mention the skills that you acquired through that particular major, and what will also be relevant to the organization that you're applying for. Right? One example based on my experiences, it's again an example, typical answer, but depending on what area of focus you are, what the major was, depending on what job you're applying for, this will need to be fine-tuned, right? So to begin with, I choose to be a network engineer because I've always felt that networking and connecting people, collaboration through the networks is always a key to a good ecosystem, right? Collaboration is basically done through networks. Being in the technology space, we do it through networks. Gone are the days when we used to physically go to people, which has become very less these days, right? So collaboration these days is through networks, and then building them gives me an immense sense of satisfaction because I'm able to connect two or more people through building networks, right? So I'm looking forward to putting my skills in design and implementation of networks, in addition to what all I've learned from my courses as a part of providers that are given the opportunity to work in this organization. One of the tip, again, I'll always give a tip and I'll say what not to say, right? So tip is basically take a moment to think about your college days, think of what are all the skills and experiences you gained through your major studies, and then connect those skills and experience related to the requirement of the job that you applied for, right? What you should never say, never quote financial reasons, never ever give skills and experiences and reasoning which doesn't match with the requirements of the job at all, right? So those are the few things that you need to keep in mind while answering the question for this. The other question that new graduates will get is, why did you change majors? Example, I started with, say, information technology, and then I moved on to, say, business administration, right? There will be specific reasons why we do that, and why the interviewer asked that question is basically to get a sense of reasoning, your longevity and your loyalty towards anything that you start, right? So today, if someone hires you for a particular role, what's the reason behind why you pick that, and how long you would like to do it, how loyal you be to that opportunity, right? So the possible answers to that is, you need to basically do your best to connect your experience and education from past, which made you change the majors. Example, you move from information technology to business administration, even though they're not be directly related in a traditional sense, but you should look for the aspects for what you learned from the previous major and how you're going to connect that to the future major or the new major that you jumped onto. Typical example, one of my experience, I did my engineering in information technology, but I didn't did business administration because that what was needed at that point of time from my aspirations and also to meet the business requirements. Typical example, say for example, you have degree in communications that give you a broad foundation for being successful in sales role, right? And sales success is all about the ability to communicate with the customer and close the sales deal. And if I wanted to be a salesperson along with services background, right? So I need to switch the domains for relevance. As an example, my recent study in customer service operations had a component which involves selling existing customers, but expanding the use of services. Right? So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is you will need to connect what you learned and why did you switch majors, and then how they both connect together, right? How do you go about doing it? Just a tip is write down all the list of skills and experiences you gained through the change of your major studies, and then look back at the job listing and correlate it, right? Again, what you should never say is don't say your first degree was pretty useless. It did not help you get a job, so you change majors and things like that. So don't start anything with a negative tone. Be positive about what you did from a first major and then why you went to the second major. Hope this helps answer the question which you asked. The third relevant question that new graduates may get is, what did you learn from your summer job, or what did you learn from your internship? Right? The reason why the recruiter asks is because basically they want to see how much of hands-on experience you got, and how much did your vocation knowledge get converted into a knowledge and skill to a real-world situation. Right? Possible examples: reference your experience and share what you have learned. Again, make note of all the skills that you developed during the summer internship. Circle the skills that are related to the job you're interviewing, and then make sure you mention those in your answers to the questions. This will give the confidence and trust for the hiring manager and interviewer that you are interested in the role, and how did your summer internship really help in getting the job. Example answers: I completed a marketing internship from a local firm the past semester, and I was fascinated by how the team analyzed the needs of the client. I enjoyed helping them to orchestrate promotion events, and they loved the copy that I wrote for themselves. Right? Basically, what we're trying to do here is again a tip. Right? I'm relating the job description, I'm relating my experience, and then I'm kind of connecting the both the dots and answering it accordingly. Right? What you should never say, again, no negative tone. Do not say it was a waste of time, or you did not learn anything, you did not get any exposure, and things like that. Right? Because as always, anything that you do will be definitely a new experience, and you will be able to use that or leverage that at some point. New graduate, in what course did you get the worst grades and why? Right? We all would have done graduation in some major or the other, and obviously there will be one or two grades, one or two majors where you get lesser grades, right? And there's a specific reasoning behind it. So again, here the reasoning behind the interviewer is he wants to know the your areas of interest and your focus areas. Basically, the objective here is you need to tell what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and how in which subject you had your greatest values, and what did you do to maximize the performance there. And basically, this question is for the interviewer to sense your skills and experience outside of your academic achievements, and the areas where you did not do, and how did you overcome it, right? Example answer: as you can see, I've got an average grade while in college, but I think my involvement with other aspects of my college life offers better evidence of my achievement. For example, of my sorority, coordinating all of the social and fundraising events and marketing outreach. I also hold a marketing internship as a local agency, and I'm a VP of the undergraduate marketing club. My efforts have always been focused on developing real-world skills rather than scoring all A grades on all my exams. Right? So basically, this kind of tells what your strengths are, what extracurricular activities you did, and what really makes you stand out for the role that you have applied for. Right? The tip here is, regardless of whatever your answer is, the answer should convey that you are intelligent, diligent, and a well-rounded worker who would add value to the company and just not rely on the bookish knowledge. Right? What never to say is, make sure you're comfortable with the story you're telling. Don't make up stories, don't make up stories. Tell a genuine story that's close to your heart. New graduate question: are your grades a good measure of your ability? If I put it in a corporate world, this is more like metrics. Are metrics a good measure of your team's performance? The answer is yes, but we don't run behind the metrics. Rather, we set a culture, and the numbers follow. Similarly, grades are a good measure of our ability, but they are just a measure. How much we put in hard work, what are the efforts, what are our capabilities. Basically, the grades will speak for itself. It's a good measuring number, but it's not all of it. Right? And the way you will get this, because the employees really want to understand if you're book smart or you are willing to put the efforts on a real world scenario, right? So again, here there are multiple possible answers. I'll speak about two scenarios: a scenario where a student is an A grade student, and a scenario which is for an average student, right? If you're an A grade student, it's going to be pretty easy. And you should focus on the expression of your skills, varied experience outside of the classroom, and your potential employee should not feel that you're smart only, whereas the person should be able to understand your ability to interact and communicate well with others. If you're an average student, the good news is that you can sum it up saying that college careers just don't sum up entirely with all the grades. And as and when the experience go on, the grades would matter as much important as for a new hire. Right? So there are a couple of examples. Again, for a grade guy, the example, typical one would be, yes, I feel my grades are very accurate indication of my success in college and graduate school. I took my academics very seriously and worked very hard for the grades I received. I'm proud of the achievements I've made, but I would also emphasize my extracurricular activities that have demonstrated leadership and interpersonal skills in addition to academic success. So you can see that I'm connecting the dots of the possible answer with the example answer, right? You showcase that books are very important, grades are very important, what you learn in school is pretty important, but along with that, you need to have extracurricular activities where you demonstrate leadership, interpersonal skills, communication skills, ability to interact, social fluency, etc., etc. Right? The other example answer is for average grade, where the answer will be my grades are good indication of my academic achievement, but in a way you may not expect, reasonably fared in terms of average. But the improvement that you'll see over 4 years of college does not show lack of achievement in those early semester. Rather, it shows the effect of finding an area of study that I was passionate about. Right? So this is a good example of kind of connecting the reasons and the possible answers of you were not very good at education and there was a specific reason because you were very effective in other areas of study and passionate about it, but you did give a considerable amount of energy with the academics as well, right? The tip here is, regardless of your grades, it's important to answer in a way that conveys that you're diligent, well-rounded worker, who would add value to the company, right? Again, same tip, don't seem uncomfortable when you're telling a story. Tell a compelling story, which is your own and genuine, and be realistic. There's another new graduate question that the viewers might ask, which is example of problems you had at school and what's the solution that you did to resolve that issue. Um, the specific reason why this question is being asked by the interviewer is for a very specific reason, because it's a very broad, open-ended question, right? What problems do you have? How do you solve it? Basically, based on the answers that you give, it will allow the interviewer to drill further into the specifics, right? Again, the possible answer here is you can put it in a twofold manner, right? From an interviewer's perspective. One, it will show what you consider to be a major problem, because not all problems are huge major problems or problems, right? So based on what problem you take, will give a sense to the interviewer that what's your competency level in terms of identifying and dealing and resolving those problems, right? So defining the problem is very key. So make sure you pick up a problem that is going to be considerably big enough, complex enough, so that you could be insightful on how you respond to the problem itself. Right? Example answer, my professor gave me a technical problem that no one internally had yet to solve. It had to do with performance issues on our lab, which was negatively affecting students' lab usage. Right? The problem really arises when another student, pretty much of my similar caliber, also wanted to do it, and then there was a conflict of interest between both of us. There was difference of opinions and things like that. Right? That was a problem in hand. How did I overcome it? Again, interpersonal skills, collaboration skills, teaming up, all that was put into place, and with that, we both joined together, came up as a team, and we were able to effectively not only solve the problem, but also we enhanced it and developed a way to track and measure the system performance in the future, so that we could know before the external users when a performance issue like that comes up. Right? The tip here, as I already said, focus on the problem you already effectively resolved. Walk the interview through how the problem came about, what actions you took to resolve it, and what's the final result. The final result should be pretty competitive, and that should convince the interviewer. Again, note of caution is, do not select a personal problem, do not select another person's problem as a problem that you're dealing. Again, keep it genuine, keep it something that you faced in your school days, college days, things like that. Right? What not to say? Just an example, don't say there was a person in your college who had major problems. He wasn't doing what he has to do. You had to fix him, make him more productive, collaborative. Again, don't do that blame game kind of a scenario. Again, talk about the problems that you faced, how did you overcome it, and how did you work together to resolve it. Hope these scenarios were useful, again, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more and more such options. I would like to thank you, Gio, that gave me the opportunity to record this video series.